Good. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Drinks and Dogs. So cheers to you guys, and actually thanks for showing up on here. Obviously, we did this for a good purpose on multiple levels. We're launching the Illroy Hotsauce, and every member that's on here and people who are signed up actually donate. We will donate $1 to the Magical Bridge Foundation in Morgan Hill that helps the autistic community out. So today is a really special episode because we are not only doing the donations to the Magical Bridge Foundation, but we are also unveiling the Illroy Hotsauce that's actually been brought in through a really close personal friend of mine, my best friend Rory Pete. So come on in. So in typical fashion, we got to do the cheers. Cheers. So Illroy Hotsauce. So before we go into how we know each other, let's go into how the Illroy Hotsauce idea even came into play. Like how that even worked out. Like now we have, I know you're, and just background on Rory. Rory is probably one of the best cooks I know. I know Jesse, who he's watching this, is going to be very butthurt about it. but it's one of the best cooks I know. And, you know, he came up with this all by himself. And they're very good hot sauces. So how did it come up? Like, I know this has been a really tight timeline.
Yeah, well, how it happened was I was at home, bored, and I was like, man, I got nothing to do because we were on a little break from school. You know, everybody's working from home, and I kept buying hot sauce. I was like, man, I keep buying this hot sauce, and most of it's all right. It doesn't taste good. It might be hot, but it doesn't taste good. I was like, I bet you I can do that. So I read a quick little book about hot sauce, and I decided to try it. And I gave it to a couple neighbors, a couple friends, and then they liked it. And then kind of snowballed from there, kind of out of my control. I think this whole thing came about too is I went to Mike's, and we were talking about just challenge, like different things I brought up. I was like, I'd like to watch the challenges on the internet. I was like, they always use like chicken. And I don't like, if you know anything about me, I despise chicken, all of the chickens.
Every chicken. There is not a chicken that he likes.
All the chickens, right? Even the ones that are not chicken that they call chicken, that's made out of tofu, trash, right? So I was like, no, I should do like tater tots. That'd be cool. I think that'd be dope. And then Mike's like, all right, well, let's do it. And then literally the next day, he's like, so here's what we're going to do. I set this up, and then we're doing this. So I was like, oh, all right. He's like, oh, you know, you got the stuff that you got to do this. You know how to do this in bulk? I was like, So basically I had to scramble, try to figure out, like, learn how to do this stuff, which is fine with me because I had the time to do it. So that's pretty much how this came along. The name actually is because if you know me, you know I lived in San Jose literally my entire life, except for the last 2 years I've been in Illroy. And I didn't think that Illroy, I wasn't ready. But the name Illroy is, as you guess, Gilroy and Rory put together because I wanted, my initial idea for the name was to make it like a more urban, like scene-ish out here because literally it's not one. And then I realized that was a horrible idea because there's like 4 black people that right here. Probably wouldn't fly too well, but it would take a long time. But anyway. So I had the name, I held on to it, and then I was like, oh, when I was thinking of names, I came up with a bunch of dumb names.
Illroy, by the way, I think that's a great name, especially considering, because we talked about it. I think we were talking like one night, you're like, well, like, what do you think about this name? I was like, well, it has to represent like what you are. Yeah. Like who you are, and like the thing, I think like that feels like, because it still puts that hip hop sense into it, plus Gilroy, plus Rory, like, and like, you know, that puts that whole thing into it.
And, so, you know, Ill.
Yeah.
And if you know anything, Illmatic's a dope album, so.
Just don't come after us. Copyright. I don't want that.
I was shout out.
Yeah. Please don't see this. So it's obviously like Illroy, everything's going great, or developed really well. The Hot Tots, that's something you guys are working on as well, which is coming out soon too, right?
We're working on so shout out to Danny Harsey, was my partner with the Hot Sauce. Amazing dude, amazing cook. If you think I'm good, he'll probably put me to shame, honestly. But got him on the team, so things should be moving along pretty quickly with that. Shout out to Ish. Ish is another homie of mine. Oddly enough, met him in Vegas.
Oddly enough, everyone that knows this on here is like oddly enough. He's like,
yeah. I met him in Vegas at our other homie's bachelor party. At
That's
your
like
bachelor
walking.
party.
That's like walking into a restroom and finding toilet paper.
I met him at your.
That's how odd that is.
Yeah, I met him at your bachelor party.
And
That's all right. And then he ended up flying he's from Fresno. He was in San Jose, met up, kind of got clicked up with cool people, and then he moved actually down a couple blocks from me here in Gilroy, and the same thing happened, which I don't know how this keeps happening. And I went to his house. I was like, we should do a tater tot company, but make it like where you put stuff on it. I was like, that's pretty much how it went. And I gave him all the ideas. He's like, all right, let's do it. Next thing I know, that's happening. So hopefully in the next couple months, we'll have a couple pop-ups pulling up in Gilroy. That's a plan that we have going on now. So we're just testing some recipes right now and just trying to get that out the door. So keep an eye out for Fire Tots coming to.
So the story that actually most of these people probably don't even know is that I'm actually, this is actually like family. Like when I grew up in East Side San Jose, people know my story all day long. Like, grew up in, bad part of the East Side and all that stuff like that. But a house away from me was, your family. That's how actually I met you. I call her Mommy Vonda, Vonda and then Charles and their whole family took me in at a really young age. And then roughly 10, 11 years, 12 years old at that time, we met up. Charles and I were skating in the back of my dad's house, and
which happened to be down the street from my house.
Which is and my dad for some reason thought it was cool to build like a 16-foot.
The biggest half pipe I ever seen. It was not for kids.
That no one needed to actually be doing.
If you know how tall I am, 16 feet is high.
So that's one of the first times that we met, and we didn't even use the vert ramp for anything other than like breakdancing.
Yeah, definitely breakdancing.
And if the level that Charles and I were at breakdancing at that time wasn't really breakdancing, it was just scrambling around, just trying to figure out how to work.
With the top rock moving our legs around like dying birds.
So that's why I like the fact that we're doing like the Illroy challenge and everything like that on this stuff too, because this is lineage of 30 almost 30 years. I mean,
I don't know you Asian me, but it's fine.
I'm aging myself essentially.
Oh yeah, I'm nowhere near your age.
He's older, even though I look older.
That's right.
But it's funny like how it all comes full circle and everything that we're doing now, and like now that we have all the stuff that you guys are doing and everything else that we're doing too, it's really cool. So shout out to and I gotta say this.
Oh, I see you, Ish. I see Ish down here.
Ish is on there. I gotta say this. There's not a scarier lady other than Vonda and your mom.
In fact, my mom's a frightening little lady.
Because all they have to say is you want to get punched in the chest.
My mom might start crip walking on you first, and then it's over with.
Which I think a lot of it helped create, the people that we are today and the things that we're doing. So shout out to you ladies there.
Indeed.
So what do we got here? What sauces do we have?
All right, so we got step one. We got dynamite right here. We got some good old that's what she said right here. Or is this one? No, this is the muddy bud.
Muddy bud. Okay.
Mud bud. This is Sunday morning. This is just a one-off that I decided to make today, and this one is called. Sorry, I can't see them. This is dynamite. We got the Muddy Buddy. We got Sunday morning, which I'm going to tell you this is my favorite, and it's been a pretty big hit lately.
That was a fan favorite in LA.
Yeah, LA, shout out LA. This one is the one I made today. It needs to age a little bit, but this one is called Leftovers because it's what I had left over from the other sauces that I made that I froze. So I haven't even tasted it yet, so we'll see what happens there. And then we got here, this is that was what she said. This is a very good one as well. Pretty sweet though. So there we go. As we go throughout a kind of give you a heads up on what's in them before we take them.
Yeah, and then we'll break down. So basically, we're gonna break down everything, and then we're gonna finish off the last one with the Cerberus from the Craft Roots Infusion Warren Whiskey collaboration. That's been aging for what, 2-3 months now?
Yeah, in my freezer. Let me tell you. That's all I gotta say.
So hot whiskey.
If you try to get a hold of me tomorrow and I don't answer, this is why. This right here.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break this down just like the Hot Ones Challenge. I'm actually gonna hand everything over to Rory, and he's gonna be asking the questions, and I'll just kind of be being a participant in this.
All right. Yeah, like I said, Rory. Nice to.
We're starting on this side?
I guess. We're gonna start on that side. So up first we got the Dynamite. Okay, it's like a jalapeno hot sauce type. I wanted a hot sauce that tastes good, that didn't just taste like vinegar. So that's why I made this one. Actually, shout out Doc's Black. This one's for you.
It's like a tastier Tabasco.
That's what I'm going for. See,
That's
it worked.
it. So what's in this one?
Jalapeno. It's a jalapeno-based sauce. Onion.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy in it. It's just the way that it was made that gives it a different flavor, a little bit more smoky. So it's good. All right. So first up, did you know that in the Beatles' "A Day in the Life" there's a section of the song that is only noticeable that only dogs can hear, and he did that on purpose. It's like in the last 30 seconds of the song, and he says in an interview to watch your dog when you listen to it. I took that personally as a threat. I didn't know what to do. All right, so I did try it, and my dogs kind of gave me one of these. So I turned it off. Didn't need any heat, right? So what do you think Paul McCartney was trying to say to these dogs?
I think he was just high on acid, and it was just like, hey, like we're just gonna go ahead and just, we're just gonna try this like weird thing,
Kind of experiment, see where things
yeah,
let it go.
just see what happens. You know?
Mhm.
Just like turn the record back thing. Just, what does the devil say to you?
One of the
kind of
Ozzy
thing.
Osbourne type things.
I mean, dogs obviously learn or hear things differently out of it. Like the ears, they work different. So I mean, they're obviously hearing things differently. I mean, I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for this. I'm not a huge Beatles fan.
It's okay.
Yeah. So like I don't really know besides like the psychedelic stuff that they were doing. Like,
I mean, I will say that song definitely sounds like an ass trip. I like it.
well, I mean, I always think of what's it the Walk Hard parody when he goes into like the Beatles
The
phase.
ayahuasca.
Yeah. I always think of that. I'm like, you motherfuckers are crazy.
Yeah, right.
But I wouldn't. I would say he's just probably just fucking with people, and he's probably just high as shit on some type of psychedelic or something. But I mean, who knows?
Guess that makes sense. Cool. All right, let's get up to this next one. All right. So we don't have a lot of sauces here, so we can't just take one in between. So don't be looking at me like, oh, he's not doing it in between. I don't want to hear it, right? So it says people love dogs most of the time more than they love other people. So did you know on the Titanic, a lady wrapped up her Pomeranian, which I am not the biggest fan of, by the way. I mean, there's one or two that I've seen in my entire life that are cool, but they were already old when I met them, so you know. But she wrapped her Pomeranian up like a baby, so people thought she was carrying a baby, so she escaped the Titanic. So she was like, screw these people, this dog that bites everyone for no reason. I'm saving that one. And another Pomeranian and a Pekingese were saved. So 3 dogs total.
Just faking their babies.
Yeah. So if you have to choose any dog, present, past, or one that you've trained to save from a sinking ship, who would you pick?
Ooh, that's a tough one. And I'd have to pick one. So I'd have to balance between my OGs and the ones I know they're actually going to be functional.
How about we pick one of each?
Well, I'd have to pick Maryland. Hey, I don't know if you guys know this, but Maryland hates him.
Maryland hates me. It's weird because I've never been anything but nice to her.
Unless Rory's asleep on my couch, then she loves him. It would have to be Maryland, and it'd have to be Cerberus because Maryland's the OG. You know, she's the first one. So then Cerberus is the one that's actually going to go out and wreck some shit. So
Wreck shops. Game over for everybody.
right,
I've seen it personally, and I'm letting you know.
everyone in LA saw this thing too.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
We have passed all that Cerberousness. Okay. He has his name for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's for real, for real.
All right, let's get this next
All
one.
right.
Here.
So
What is
this one is a curry spice sauce. Heavier on the lemon side, so it hits your taste buds a little weird, but it's a good kind of tingly feeling. Really good on white meats and fish.
And the name of this one is
This is Muddy Buddy.
Muddy Buddy.
It's one of my favorites though, for real.
Still, we got that like that curry taste. They definitely some spice on that shit.
Yeah. It's like one of those ones that kind of envelops your tongue and then kind of works its way in.
It just expands.
Outside tongue. Tongue hit. It's pretty good. All right.
That'd be good on some like tilapia or some shit like that. Like, you know, like some like
on a white
plant
fish,
acid,
right? Not on salmon though. Don't put it on salmon. You'll be upset about it.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll work.
No. All right. So I read an interesting fact about bloodhounds. And bloodhounds, you can use their sense of smell in court as evidence. They can track a smell for up to 300 or over 300 hours after it's already been track's been made. So effectively, if you own a bloodhound, the dog can be used against you in court if you do something wrong. Remember this, people. I'm putting you up on game at the same time. So I'm asking is, knowing this, would you ever own a bloodhound?
Yeah, because I'm smarter about my crimes.
There you have it, people.
I mean, so a lot of what I mean, and to think about it this way, when you're talking about tracking scents, when you're talking about things like, you know, the floppy-eared dogs, like the bloodhounds, the, you know, the labs, the all the like retrievers and all this other stuff, like those dogs, if they're paired up on something, that they're gonna be able to get it. But it's always simple. Again, if you're a criminal, listen to this. It's always based on how you pair and what you like, how you do this. Like you basically, this command means go look for this. And do these things in that way, like, you know, but genetics are a big play, and you know the thing with bloodhounds, the things with all, like, you know, Malinois, the shepherds, is the genetics have been so watered down that we're not even getting solid dogs. And if you think about it this way, like you look at someone like the police dogs that are out there, a lot of the police dogs out there are garbage. So I mean, if you look at like the misidentified like fines, right? Like it,
Nah.
like the misidentified fines, like they're not there. So it's just, you know, they just need reasonable, or they would just say they would need reasonable intent to actually do something. And it depends on which agency it is too, because everything is different throughout the United States. You know, what's happening in Florida is not what's happening in California. Same thing with Texas, Arizona, Minnesota, like all, you know, everything throughout the state. Every agency has their own policy and procedure. But what bloodhounds, I've always found them to be kind of like assholes. They're just like little lazy assholes. And
They work when they want to work.
yeah, they're stubborn little jerks. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I would, because I'm not a dummy and I can figure my shit out.
Just as a disclaimer, we're going to circle back to the not hottest one at the end. I did that on purpose so we can have it after this, maybe.
Okay.
All right, we'll see how that works out. All right. So, this is probably my favorite question, people. I don't know if you know him, you know why. All right. So, we all know that dogs navigate a lot of the world by smell. All right. So, dogs do not have a very concrete sense of time, but they can give themselves a sense of how long something's been gone by how much of their scent is left behind. All right. So, based on your, I'm a dog trainer, caveman, you know, Musk, you know what I'm saying?
My odor.
Yeah. How long do you think it would take for a dog to realize you left a room?
Fuck. I mean, depending on what size the room was, if there's any open windows, any open doors. I mean, I think I probably have a fairly distinct smell between, but besides, like, I would say Dog knowing I left the room in my house, 10 minutes. I mean, there's going to be some, what's it called, dissident, Aaron? Like, yeah, the smell left over.
Yeah.
I would say 10, 15 minutes, maybe more. I mean, there's going to be some.
I'm going to go ahead and say he's lying.
The strength of the smell, like that's the thing, like the strength of the smell.
How pungent it is.
And what I leave in there is different than what I will like walking out. If I walk into a static room and I just walk through, then maybe 10, 15 minutes. But let's say it's in my house.
Well, let's say in your house. That's where we're going.
Oh, the motherfucker ain't gonna know that. I left. I'm like, nope. Still smell your stinky ass all the way up there.
Right on. All right, let's get into this next one. This is Sunday morning. It's a habanero based sauce. This by far is my favorite. I believe it's my favorite.
Yeah,
here.
definitely
it's
is.
Go-to, he says. Shot some down to LA. Got a big hit out of that. So this is probably gonna be the one coming real soon. Let's get into that one. Piece on there.
So the best thing about this sauce, this is what I loved when I was in LA, is that remember like that La Vic thing, like at the end of the night, like we're like, we gotta go to La Vic, so we gotta go get that, like that sauce.
Mind you, there was a whole lot of drinks going on before that.
So
And, hey, wait, before I finish, shout out Joe Murgia for telling me the story about the first time he ate there and how he feels about that place. Also, shout him out for this shirt.
Are they
Joe
still
Blades saying check him out.
still on there? We'll shout out on that too.
Yeah.
So the thing I like about this is the consistency and the spice.
Mm.
Also the taste, because it is hot, but and like that's why I think I'm like the problem with a lot of big sauces, it wasn't hot. It was so much like
Very like oily and like
mayonnaise-y, like
it was definitely mud butt material.
it was just like it was a taste, but there was no like bite to it, right?
Yeah.
So like this is like the thing I like. This is it has the consistency, but not like so much. This is gonna be that's what she said. So much girth when it comes to like the mayonnaise and everything like that. Like this was like it has actually some like substance to it. It's not just big for no reason.
Well,
That's what. that's
Well, the cool thing about this, if you don't like mayo, there's absolutely no mayo in this sauce. Period. There's no fat, no dog fat.
dog fat. I hope no dog
There's
fat.
dog here. I don't know, but there's no fat to see.
If you guys can see the consistency in this, it's pretty.
And
Straightforward.
thus far, every one of these sauces that I've made so far, there are no meat byproducts in them. So if there's something you can't have as far as meat-based things go,
And as you guys know, been
So-
plant-based for almost a year and a half. So
Yep. So that's for you. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I looked at a bunch of weird laws and things of that nature. So I'm gonna read off a few of them, and then you just tell me what you think about it. So, actually, no, there's one more time. Yeah, this one. In Wallace, Idaho, it is illegal for a human being to sleep in a dog kennel. Is there any time where you or anyone you know have slept in a dog kennel, and not just because you're in trouble? Is there a time when this has happened?
So first of all, there's probably reasons why they're sleeping at night. They have laws against that in Idaho.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Livestock.
Not much to do there.
Just joking. If you're in Idaho, I don't know anybody over there. But yes, I definitely have. When I used to live at the kennels, I actually have had to like go into like console some of like the dogs that I've had like that are like super stressed out. So I've had to go in there, like I literally would just get out from my office and put the blanket on my shoulder, and dogs freaking out in the corner. I just walk into the kennel and I'll just like sleep next to them on that. So I've done that multiple times. It's not the most hygienic experience, especially when you're living in a kennel. So I mean, like that kind of sucks a little bit, but like, I mean, it's still kind of fun just to be like hanging out with dogs and doing the same thing. But yeah, no, I've definitely have slept in my fair share of kennels. Even imagine putting my fucking big ass in a crate. I've done that with Marilyn when she was sick. I mean, I've being a dog trainer, being the thing, in the dog industry, and you gotta do what you gotta do to make sure these dogs are good. So,
See that, guys? He's not just a jerk.
yeah.
I can't. Somewhere in there. All right. So in Turin, I don't
Turned? Are we getting turned up?
Turned up.
All right, well, they're turned up. Let's go ahead and cheers to that.
But I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. In Italy, there's a law that you have to walk your dog 3 times a day or face a $650 fine per day you don't. How many minutes on average should the average pet be walked?
I would say as many as you possibly can. I mean, like, I can't really put a number to it just because it's individual. I mean, you got to think about it like, you know, for example, like in your household, you have Una, you have Nix, you have fucking Hyro, like you have like, you know, whatever dogs you're babysitting and everything like that too. So, I mean, there's a lot of different variations. Like Una can't walk as much as like Hyro or Nix, you know, because she's an American Bully versus that. So it's always individual. But you want to give them as much physical experience and just physical conditioning as possible, because you're conditioning them. But the thing to understand as well is that as we are physically conditioning them, we are physically conditioning them. They are already professional athletes, essentially. So now we're just giving these professional athletes more juice. So now these motherfuckers are gonna be like, hey, what's up with this walk? Like, we going, we running, like what, like
Definitely there already.
So I mean, like, this is the things to take into consideration when we're doing all this stuff. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I fully agree. Like, if you own a dog, I mean, that's a responsibility. You know, in my opinion, owning a dog, you're taking care of a life.
Right.
So you 100% should be walking your dog, training your dog, doing these things, treating them as dogs though as well, and not humanizing emotions and all the other bullshit that people do, especially in California.
Oh, with that said, you heard we said, right? You're taking care of a life. So all you people who get mad at people like, oh yeah, my dog's not like my kid. As long as you don't treat him like a kid, you're taking care of him like that.
Treat a dog like a dog.
It's a lot of work. Or they treat you like a dog.
Yep. That's how it's got to be.
Right. Nice. Okay, and also with that, with walking, right? Walking is also with exercise, correct? But what else does it do for the dog as far as its surroundings and its confidence?
So environmental stimulation is extremely important. We have a mutual friend who's a vet as well, and like, you know, he's stuck into like the 16-week thing and like all this other stuff. And like, I can't stress how much it is important for you, especially if you have a working dog, to have that dog exposed to everything even beforehand. Be smart about it. Don't be a dumbass and, you know, put them in dog parks, and also dog parks are fucking retarded, so don't do that. Oh, shouldn't have said that word. But or don't do that. But you know, the thing is, like, you want to make sure that, you know, you're taking the dogs out and exposing them to the world. You don't want to create insecurities. The more insecurities that they have, you know, the more problems they're gonna have later in life. And you have to treat a dog like a dog. You know, most importantly, that's the thing, is that people think that, you know, we process it just like, oh, hey, I feel the way you feel. Well, we don't, because we're not the same species.
Right.
We actually created the dog. You know, we created the dog to be biddable. We created the dog to be responsive to us. We created the dog to do all these other things. And that's, you know, what we have to understand is like I said before, I've been telling you, like, this time when we've been talking before, is that you treat a dog like a dog, then treat you like or you treat a dog like a person, and treat you like a dog. You know, and that's one of the most important things to understand, is you create a specific level of mental anxiety as you train the dog, especially if you treat it like a baby.
Yeah. So all you guys with chihuahuas out there that carry your dog everywhere,
Stop it.
put them in strollers. Stop that. It's not okay. All right. Let's see. So this is a really good one, and you know what? I hope this is not still a law. I tried to find out if it still was, but if it is, Hartford, Connecticut, get it together. Okay. So Hartford, Connecticut has a strict law about educating your dogs, meaning training your dogs, teaching them to do anything. You know what their law is? No. You cannot do it. Do not go to Hartford, Connecticut with any of the dogs he has. Don't try to get one. You can't have one. Okay? No dogs out there. All right? So what is the importance of obedience training, or training in general, for any dog?
What's the importance of putting your kid through school? You know, what's the importance of I mean, the issue is that, you know, people always like humanize behavior, right? People always like humanize dog behavior, but we don't want to apply the same thing to like our dogs. You know, like, we don't want to put training, you know, money into training because they're dogs.
Like they're saying, like, oh, you know, your dog messes up, so you discipline them, but the dog's not ever gonna say sorry.
Oh, well, that's
That's pretty much how that goes. You can't be like, oh, you did this. Your dog's gonna be like, my bad.
well, that how's he gonna know what to do?
Exactly.
Because we didn't show him the right way to do things. You know, smacking the dog with newspaper and all those other bullshit that people put out there, like doing the bonking stuff, don't work. You got to be able to. You have to train your dog. And if you own a dog, I don't care if the dog is 2.5 pounds, 1.5 pounds, this tiny, like this big. You're not doing. You're not training the dog for obedience per se, but you're training the dog for a complete understanding of what we expect of them. And think about it this way, since we always want to humanize emotions, go to a foreign country and have no clue, no interpreter, no one to help you. You're stuck in like an area with a bunch of people and you have no clue what to do. The level of anxiety that you're going to deal with is going to be much different, right? And especially if it's like they're not even in the same species as you. Like you go to an alien area, I mean, you know, whatever, if that's happening, you go there and you're just sitting there like, well, these are the big motherfuckers walking around.
So like if I went to Menlo Park by myself?
No, we got people there. we got people there, but like, I mean, like thinking about it this way, like you go into an alien area and you're trying to just like figure out what's going on, and there's different surroundings, different, you know, language, people who don't understand your body language, don't understand those things, because as people in general, if we go to, you know, let's say we go to like freaking Bangkok or we go to like anywhere like that, like we're going to be able to read body language because we're people, we understand that. But if you're in a different species and you don't understand what body language is with a person and you're just sitting here like looking at like all this weird language and they're way above you, like all this other stuff, it's like us going to an area of giants and being like, okay, like what am I supposed to do here? The level of anxiety that will come.
Let's just fight it.
I mean, like, because you think it's fight or flight, it's insecurity, it's all these other things that come with it. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to owning a dog. I mean, owning a dog is leading another living being and creating comfortability and making sure they understand, like, oh, hey, like, this is okay. Like, you can do this, you can't do that. Because, again, we bred dogs to be biddable, dependent. We didn't breed them to be independent. We bred them to be biddable, dependent, listening, like, what we want them to do. So they're consistently looking for cause and reaction, and they're associative based learners. So if we don't create that associative based understanding, then they're gonna be like, what the fuck do you want to do? And all of a sudden you want to get mad at your dog for making a mistake that you didn't teach them how not to do. So I mean, like, those are all just different things to consider when you're doing that. So yes, training your dog is an absolute fucking necessity.
Necessity. I got this one. Necessity.
Exactly.
All right. So one more question, we'll get into the next sauce, is Illinois. They have a law saying that, hold on, I just blanked out for a second. I'll get right back to you. So Illinois has a law that says that you, no, it's not a law, I'm sorry. Belvedere, California, excuse me. I was thinking about a whole other thing. I was doing a lot of research today, people, and this week. But anyway, Belvedere, California has a law that states a dog cannot be in public without their owner on a leash. There's one district that I thought that might work, but I don't, hopefully not with the dog. Let's not even get into that. But can you think of a situation where that law would make sense, even just to make?
I mean, I always want to say it's common sense, but I mean, common sense ain't common. I mean, like, obviously, like, I'm be like, hey, so your dog is outside without you.
I mean, you would think that if you had put the collar on, like, you really like, yo, I'm gonna do that law, something's not right with you. Like, you need to reevaluate what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason why I got my guys like taser sticks. So fuck around and find out real quick.
All right, cool. All right, here's the second to last, obviously, because we got one more that's not as hot as this one, obviously. So this is kind of a one-off. We'll see where it goes. It's literally called Leftovers. And the reason why it's called leftovers, you know, it sounds crazy. It's this horrible name, but it's actually a pretty good name. It's the leftovers that I froze from making other hot sauces. So, you know, habanero peppers. It's got ghost peppers. It's got ghost pepper oil. It's got chili de arbol. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. And we just put it together and kind of went with it. See what happens. So hopefully,
Cheers to
I
that.
haven't even tried it yet. So let's see.
Oh shit! Drop the whole goddamn thing in there. Oh yeah.
That's gonna be a creeper. I feel it.
Yep. That's gonna be.
You know. Oh, I come for the back. That came for the back.
That one's gonna,
Back
that
throat
one's
there.
gonna feel. That's what she said.
No, yes.
Oh. I feel like it's getting hotter.
It just keeps, yeah.
I gotta like dip back into like the Sunday morning.
I'm gonna try it again. No, just, yeah. I don't know if you know this about me. I don't have very much sense when it comes to things like this. I mean, I got a pretty good kick to it. Look, my forehead's a little shiny. Yeah.
Ooh.
Woo! All right.
All right, so we should do the Cerberus drop before the Sunday morning, or the.
Before that one, yeah. Actually, we can go back. Oh, yeah, because that one has sugar in it. So, last question. In Oklahoma, you can be fined or jailed for looking at a dog with a silly face or an ugly face. How they define ugly? It's on the eye of the beholder, apparently. You know, everybody's beautiful in their own way. But knowing that, do you think that if you went to Oklahoma, they would let you out without
No.
time?
No.
Yeah, folks, you wouldn't make it out.
I'd be arrested immediately and be like, all right, cool. Like, hey, we don't know what face you're making, but you look like Mr. T at the same time, so I can't do it.
All right, so this Cerberus whiskey, before I get to this is called That's What She Said, the pineapple cara habanero. It's pretty sweet, so we're gonna chase that hopefully with this on it. I don't know. I'm gonna let you guys know that this sauce is this. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the Cerberus whiskey is a collaboration between the Craft Fruits Infusion, which is Craft Fruits in Morgan Hill. It's a vegan restaurant. Warren Whiskey, and we used like the primal canine dogs to kind of describe what it is. And as you guys all know, Cerberus is a little spicy, but this is actually a lot hotter than how spicy Cerberus is. So, I took a shot of it the first time we got it, and it didn't work out well for me. But from what Chef Rick and Nick at Craft Fruits, who created this, apparently the longer you leave Ghost Reaper peppers, roasted jalapenos, Carolina Reapers in a bottle, the hotter it gets. And this has been since December.
3 months almost.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, it's been in my freezer the whole time, so I'm supposed to taste it periodically to make sure it won't kill anyone, I guess. I don't know. It does, and let me tell you, the last time I tried it was maybe about a month ago.
Not good.
It was not good.
All right, so Cerberus whiskey available at Craft Fruits.
I'm gonna get that ready.
Let's get this
Go
going.
straight forward to you after. Oh, 2, huh? Wow. See that? 2. Only got
I'm just dumping this thing.
one. There's a lot of natural sugars in this one. So also I don't add sugar and salt to these. It's whatever naturally is occurring in whatever you got. So
Oh, this is gonna suck ass. All right, guys. Well,
it was nice knowing you. Appreciate your viewing.
gee, you better get ready to take this shit offline real quick. This goes fucking haywire. Fucking Jesus. All right, see you later, guys. Oh, that was a horrible decision. Motherfuck. Oh, fuck. Yeah, everything's fine.
So it's hot in here.
Everything's okay.
If you, my voice is.
It's
I
yeah.
will say it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. But it's not great.
Fuck you. Fuck. Oh. You
Also,
might some fucking
I might have
water
been
in this
cheating.
bitch.
Oh no, it's good. Oh. When you breathe, it hurts.
Oh.
Through the fire.
Give me that shit. Throw it.
Oh, pink stuff everywhere. Let me get the other one.
Catch better than the Cowboys offense.
Wow. Wow. I'm telling you, this is lifesaver right here. Jesus Christ.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, that's fucking fucked up. Yeah, if you buy that, good luck, guys. Drain it.
Yeah. See, you feel it's like burning a hole.
Well, this is why this guy has a fucking production crew.
Oh, God.
All right.
Take another one. Get out of here, Hugo.
I'm sorry. I love all of you guys, but you guys are taking another one. You guys can all.
It's like holding on to whatever's. I don't know what's right here. I was never good at anatomy. But whatever's right here, it's like this.
All right. So.
All right, quick. I'll start this one. All right, so for Illroy, if you want to inquire about sauces, we're taking donations right now. Donations. If you're sending a donation, you know what I'm saying, you can get a bottle or two or see what's popping. I got to figure this out, but inquire at Illroy Hotsauce on Instagram. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. Turnaround's pretty quick. Oh God, that hurts. Yeah. Fire Tots coming soon. Look out for that in Gilroy. Pop-up shops. We might be bringing the sauce down to San Jose for the pop-up shops. Once again, shout out JD, John Dell, the shirt plug. You know what I'm saying? San Jose. Shout out Jose Miguel for the shirt. God, it hurts inside. Shout out Ish for partnering up with me, sticking around. Shout out Danny, my ace, for doing the thing. Shout out PC for always having my back. Shout out Mike for always having my back. The water does not help with hot things. I don't know who told you. No,
I see hydration.
It makes it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out everybody helping out. Shout out my wife for helping me out with all this and sticking through all that nonsense. So, salute.
Awesome, guys. Well, welcome. Welcome. Thanks for watching another episode of Drinks and Dogs. If you want more of the Hot Tot Challenge on PCU, make sure you hit up Illroy, hit up PCU, let them know. And then we can do more of these with some new hot sauces and all the fun stuff.
I will continuously. I am on the hunt to make this stuff like tasty hot. Not that just I can't feel my forehead, face numb, butthole on fire stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So check them out. Check out PC Online. Yeah, turn this bitch off and make the fucking G. Let's get the fuck out of here. Thank you, sir.
Yep.